Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of Office Hours.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, good. How are you?
I am good, thank you. Thanks so much for joining. Apologies for all the
Yeah,
shenanigans you went through.
yeah. Thank you. That's fine. Yeah.
So,
So,
what's the crack? How can I help?
I was first of all, I'm a novice, to be honest.
Uh huh. Okay.
I'm hearing some echo.
You might need to close the other tab. Sometimes, when you click it, it opens up a new tab, so you might need to close the original
Oh
stream.
yeah. Oh yeah. I see. I see. Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes. All good.
Yeah. So first of all, I'm a novice using your WeWeb. To be honest,
Yeah.
I don't code and all that. So I was trying to connect it to voice agents.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then that's not really the problem anyway, because I couldn't even set up the workflows for my pages, if that
Okay.
makes sense. For instance, the login page, I was following your YouTube video, and
Hmm.
I tried to use your AI. In fact, I ran out of tokens as a result. Yeah, yeah. So
Okay. Do you
that's where we
wanna
are.
do you wanna share your screen and then we can go through each thing one by one?
Okay, let me log in.
No worries.
And by the way, I think you probably need to update some of your YouTube videos, especially the ones done by the lady or something,
Yeah.
because
I trust me. I 100% know. There's a big update in the works, and
okay,
so we're waiting for that big update because it will change the UI.
okay,
And then yeah, once that's in place, we need to definitely overhaul all the YouTube videos because they're definitely years out of date.
sure. Get
What backend were you using, by the way?
Sorry, when you say back end, what do you mean? Sorry.
No, so it's no worries. So basically, WeWeb is only for what you see. So in terms of the UI,
Yeah.
whereas you need somewhere to store your data.
Oh, it's the super base.
Okay, cool.
Super base. I know what you mean now. Sorry, it's coming. How do I share?
There should be. You have a different UI than I do because I'm hosting, but there should be some kind of.
Yeah, I've seen it. Share screen.
Yeah.
Share screen. So, how often do you hold this session, to be honest?
This is every Tuesday. So this same time every Tuesday we do it, yeah.
Okay, so can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, so this is my home page. I was just trying to build an MVP, to be honest with you. Yeah, so
yeah,
where startups can actually perfect their pitch using a voice agent, if you know what I mean, like sort of an interview.
Yeah.
You know, so I was just trying to link this to Vabi. But that's not actually the problem, because even some of my pages, I can't really seem to arrange them properly. This is a home. This is a home page. This is the dashboard. Come on. So this is the dashboard. This is kind of what can show the scores after the interview, if you know what I mean. And this is the detailed report. If you want detailed reports page, it's really not the kind of UI I want, but that's what the AI gave to me anyway. So then there's another page here, which is also the final report. So I got this one from, what's the other site called? The one you use for wireframing and stuff like that. What's it called?
Like Figma or Mob?
No, Figma. Yeah, so I made this on Figma and then brought it into here. Yeah, so this is another sort of like a final report page. I probably have to choose between the one I just showed to you and this one anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, so these are some of all the pages I have. It's just empty anyway. And this is the actual interview page. This for chats if you prefer. But the other one is for, let me see, is for the actual interview. Yeah, so this is just what I got from Figma. Yeah, so those are some of the pages there, and the login page is here as well. Page. So you can see I've only just built these pages, but I can't do anything else.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Should we? Do you want to start from the sign up page then, and then we can kind of work our way through it once we get a user created and go from there?
Sure.
So, I know you're a beginner, and so where do you know where to start with something like this? As in terms of like how you even, I guess, sign a user up?
Yeah, I've tried to follow your video on YouTube. Yeah, so you probably have to click on this and then create a workflow.
Yeah.
You create a workflow here.
Yes.
A new workflow. But I tried to do that. I couldn't get exactly your type of workflow. If that makes sense. Yeah.
You're almost there. So if you back out to the screen with all the elements.
Okay.
You'll have to, no, sorry, just if you press close.
Close.
You'll want to click a bit more central in this because there's a form. So inside of this card, inside of that create account card.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yes, and then
This one.
that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although there's, if you on the left panel,
Yeah.
if you go over to the far left panel and then you scroll to the, if you go to the top, you see where it says pop-ups, data and logic at the very top. If you scroll to the left slightly, there's an option that's just off screen, I think.
Oh yeah, this one.
Yeah.
Layout.
Yes, if you expand all of this, let's try and find it manually, because you do have, yeah, if you expand form, okay. Okay, this will be a bit of a nuisance. So basically in WeWeb, there is a form container.
Yeah.
But did you build this with AI?
Yeah, I did on Figma. So I use AI on Figma, then transported
that
it
makes
into
sense.
here.
Yeah. So what it's done is it hasn't used our form container. Instead it's used just a standard element, but we can kind of get around it. So if you open up the add panel in the top left, there's an add button.
Okay. Add there. This one.
Yes. And here we can basically just drag an element onto the page.
Yeah,
so if you type in form, we'll add that form container. Yeah.
Okay.
The third one down.
This one here.
That one, yeah. If you just drag it onto where all those inputs are.
But just anywhere.
Yeah, just there's perfect.
Okay.
And what you want to do on the left-hand side is that form element you have.
Yep. Yep.
The one beneath it, the one you've got the big
this one. Yep.
If you drag that into the form container.
Into the form container. Okay.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And the form container comes with some default elements, but you can delete those. So that button and then those two inputs, you can just get rid of those.
Okay, so delete this and delete this. Which other one? And the button?
Yes.
Okay.
And the reason we wanted to put this inside of this form container is that it just handles some of the niceties for us. Although actually, I don't know if that, could you, on the left-hand side, that arrow just to the left of form container, could you press that for me?
This one?
Okay, actually, yeah. Could you expand it again, sorry?
Okay.
I'm not sure what happened there, but the form didn't actually go inside of the container. Would you mind just dragging that form element into the container one more time?
Okay, so from here, right?
Sorry, no. If you the form element, you see the one beneath it?
Okay, all right, this one.
Yeah, if you just drag it back into what you did before. There you go. Yeah, there you go.
All right. Let's see.
Okay, and now if you click on the form container, now we can add a workflow to the form container. This one, yeah. And so now if you add a workflow.
New workflow. Okay.
You see the way at the top you have the on submit trigger?
Sure.
What that basically means is that whenever you press enter on one of the inputs inside of the form container, or whenever you press the button at the bottom, that will trigger the submit. And so the reason we want it in this form container is just because it handles all of those kind of niceties for us, where otherwise we would have to set up a workflow to manually detect the submission. But since it's in the container, it handles all that for us.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So what we can do here is if you add an action in this workflow,
okay,
and you already have Supabase connected.
I think I do. Can we just be sure I do?
If you scroll to the bottom of if you open up the add an action menu, if you scroll to the bottom, okay, cool, there we go. Yeah, so you definitely have it added. If you just scroll a bit lower, there'll be some actions related to signing people up at the very bottom, I think.
Oh yeah, it's sign up here, right? This one.
Yeah. So if you add that one.
Yeah, this one. Yeah. Okay.
And now on the right-hand side, you have all the configuration options of the action. So you've got the email of the person, the password, all that good stuff. And what you'll want to do for each of these is you'll want to press that plug icon just to the left of the input.
Left of input.
Sorry, on the right-hand side, where you have the email input and the password input and stuff like that.
Okay. All right. Okay. So
you see the way.
Oh, the plug icons. Yeah. Oh, I see.
Basically, what this lets you do is it lets you define a dynamic value that you want to pass for each of these.
Sure.
So, for example, for the email, we're going to want it to be whatever the user's typed into that input. Yeah. So we're going to need to pass a dynamic value. And so that plug icon lets us basically define what we want to pass for the dynamic value. Okay. And so what we can do here is in this menu, you have basically all the data of your app. And this includes, in your case, because you have inputs on the page, you can access whatever has been typed into those inputs. So if you open up I think it's if you open up the second tab in this menu that opened.
Okay, the second tab.
Just a bit higher.
Local.
At the very top of this, that one.
Oh, this one here. Okay.
Yeah, and so these are what we call the variables of your project, and these include those inputs. So, I'm just trying to see where you have them.
Okay.
What we can do is, because I can't see them here, and I think they might be inside of a folder or something, but we can set it up so it's better, so it's easier to test. So sorry, if you close this workflow, so if you press that close button in the top right, and do you know how to put it into preview mode?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, this one.
Yes. In that username input, if you, okay, this will be a bit tricky, I realize now, because you imported it from Figma. It didn't know WeWeb's elements, and so it's used like, instead of actually putting an input for the inputs, it's used a standard element basically. So they're not actually inputs, but again, we can get around it. So sorry, if you take it out of preview mode.
Okay.
And if you open up the add panel again, in the top left.
Oh, okay.
If you type in input here, so if you get rid of form and type in input, and then you see the first one in the inputs section, it's literally just called input.
Okay, this one?
Yep. If you drag that just beneath the username text, but above the fake input we have.
This one?
Yeah. What we'll want to do is probably...
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. The input that says John Doe. See what you mean? The box itself.
It might be easier if you do it in the layout tree at the top. So if you go back on the very far left-hand side, sorry, I know I'm taking you all over the place.
Sure, that's fine.
If you go back to the layout section, so you see in the very top left, this one, and then if you expand what's inside of here, so we can see all the elements that are on the page. Sometimes it can be a bit easier to drag and drop things from here because you can do it a bit more granularly. So I think it's in the top container here. So if you just beneath this, there it is.
Oh, this one.
So if you expand this one with the arrow, and then what you'll want to do is if you just drag that input to beneath the label.
Okay. So just here?
Yep.
Okay.
And then if you see on the left-hand side, you have a container element beneath label.
Yeah, yes, right there.
I think you can get rid of that container, although actually you've dragged it. Could you try dragging the input? Sorry, that input, you see it's inside of the container. Would you mind just try dragging it out, but putting it in between label and container? So you don't need to do it on the right-hand side. Within this layout tree, if you just exactly there. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I see.
There we go.
Yeah.
Cool.
Rather than on the
and now that container element, you can click on that and you can delete it. We won't need it because we just want to put in our own actual inputs.
Sure.
And so you can do that for all of the inputs basically. So you'll probably need. You want to do it for the username one as well.
Okay. Can I duplicate everything then? Is it?
Yeah, you could. Yeah, so you could actually just right-click on that container and then duplicate it, and then you could just change the text to say username or whatever you want it to be.
Sure. So the first one would be username, I guess. So probably have to delete the first one.
I don't think it registered.
Oh, no.
You might need to double click. There you go. Yeah.
Username, email. So I have to delete the first one. How do I? The first one is this one, right?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, so I have to delete this container. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
I get it. Yeah. Okay. Email, the password as well. So probably have to. Let me see. Duplicate this. And then duplicate that as well still.
If it's easier, by the way, you can just press, when you have the element selected, you can press backspace on the keyboard to delete it.
Oh, to delete it. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Let's see.
Cool. Okay. And then, so the last thing you want to change those texts first, actually, just to be password and confirm password.
Yeah. Okay.
And the last thing you want to do is the email input and the password input. They need a specific kind of validation. And so what you can do is if you click on the email input, the actual text input.
This one?
Just to the actual input itself, so not the container. The
text.
Exactly. Oh no, the one beneath it, you see input. Yep.
Yeah, the placeholder.
And then in the right panel.
Okay.
In the middle tab in this, we just so no, in the right panel, but on the middle tab of the right panel. If you go to the far right hand side of the screen.
Okay. This. Okay.
And then you see the way there's 3 buttons at the top, just above your cursor here. Down. Yeah, those ones. Yeah. So if you click that middle one.
Oh, the settings. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So on this right panel, whenever you have an element selected, the first tab in here is for the styling. That's what the pencil button takes you to. The middle one is for the settings, and then the last one is for the workflows.
Okay. So I can change this name from placeholder, for instance.
Exactly, yeah.
To email, just right? Or maybe a type of email. What should I put that down? Is it John Doe?
At gmail.com or something, maybe?
Yeah, at gmail.com, yeah.
And then if you go to the styling tab on the right, so now if you go back to that right panel, but you open up the first tab at the top, that one, yeah. You see the way you've got an input type select?
Yeah.
You'll want to click on the option. So if you open up that select, we'll want to change the type.
This one here, the short answer one?
And you'll want to change this to email.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. Okay. All right.
And what this basically means is it handles some of the nice stuff for us. So when we submit this, this will now automatically check if the person has actually entered an email or if it's just not formatted correctly. And then we'll want to do the same thing for the password. So if you click on those 2 password inputs at the bottom, you'll also want to change their type to be password.
Okay. Password. Okay.
Cool. And then there's one very last thing I want to do is in this right panel, if you open up that settings tab again, so the middle one, and then you see the way you have how best do we want to do this? Actually, okay. You see the way at the top, it says input, and I mean at the very top of this right panel.
Sure.
A bit higher. Tiny bit higher. Yeah, you see, yep. You can double click this. And this lets you change the name of the element. And so basically we'll want to give each of these inputs a name to designate what it's for. So when we look at it in that menu where we bind all the values, we know basically what it's the value of. So you want to call this confirm password, and then the other one password, and the other one email, and so on.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I think you have the text selected. You don't actually have the input selected.
Oh, yeah. It's just easy to miss up. Sorry. Yes,
Cool.
I think I've done.
I think that's everything then. So now if you click on the form again, so you want to click on that form container element.
This one, I guess.
A bit more inner, yeah, that one. And then if you go back into the workflows we set up for it. Yep, this one. And now if you again click on that sign up action, we can go back to defining what we wanted to pass into everything. So if you open up that email binding we had on the right, you see the way it's in purple? That means you have it bound to a dynamic value. Yeah. So if you click on that, and now inside of this menu, if you open up that second tab again, here you can see we now have those at the very top in that topmost section. You have those inputs. So you've got confirm password, email, and everything. So here now you can click on email value, the second one. And this now means it will pass in whatever the person has typed into that email input.
Sure. Yeah.
And you can now do the same for the password input. So, well, sorry, the password. The password you pass. So on the far right hand side, you've still got the. You can close this now. You've.
Oh yeah, I can close this. Email. Oh yes, yep. Go to password. All right.
Yep. And then again, you see, just above this, you see you've got the password that you want to pass. If you,
yeah, this one, yeah,
exactly, yeah.
And password value, right?
Yes, and then the last thing you want to do is to simplify things. Do you have Supabase open?
No, let me just open that.
To simplify things, we might just want to change one thing in Supabase because by default I think they enable email verification, and it can be a bit of a nuisance sometimes when you just want to get things going for testing. So we might want to, for now, just disable it, and then you can re-enable it later.
Yeah. I saw that on YouTube as well. It says error, right? Supabase. I've tried to open Supabase. It says fail to fetch detail for API authorization. I'm not sure why.
Maybe you just need to sign out and sign back in or something.
Okay, let me try to use the Supabase. Okay, I'm in Supabase now. I'm not sure where to go.
Could you? I can still see the WeWeb page. Would you mind just? You might have to reshare that other tab.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. And then on the far left-hand side, if you open up that side navigation, yep. If you go to, sorry, just let me double check where this is myself. Yeah. If you go to authentication, and then if you just hover out of this menu, yeah. So, and then on this other sub menu that's opened on the left, if you click on, let me check, is it policies or sign-in providers? It's sign-in providers. If you click on sign-in providers, and then you see the confirm email option, the fourth one down.
Okay, this one here.
If you toggle that off,
yeah,
and then save changes.
Mommy,
yeah. Okay.
And so now, if you switch back to WeWeb, you'll have to probably reshare the tab again. Yeah. Yes, and so okay, and then just as a precaution, we'll still want to check what you want to change the page for the email directory on the right hand side. So you see the way in that panel on the right, we've set the email, we've set the password, but there's one configuration left beneath this. It's the email direct to. the select. You see the way just above this?
So
Yep. This one you won't actually want it to be dynamic, because this will always be the same thing.
Sure.
So you can press unbind at the top, because we don't want this to be just at the very top of this menu that opened. Yep. And you can open up the drop down on the right, and you can choose the page that you want it to go to, which I guess would be like the dashboard or something. So this would be if someone signs up and they get an email welcoming them or something like that. This is the page they would get taken to.
Yeah. Sure. The dashboard. No, it would be the interview practice page. To be honest, that would be the interview in progress. So
you can change this at any point.
I can change this anyway.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So.
And then the last thing you probably want to do, just based on how the page was set up, is you need some kind of check, because in the form you had a password input and then a confirmed password input. And so we want to make sure the person has actually put in the same thing into both of those.
Sure.
So just before this sign up action in the workflow, if you press the plus just above the sign up action in the center, in the workflow itself.
This one, yeah.
So the one above this.
Oh yeah, the one above. Yeah, this one.
So because we want to add the check before we actually sign the person up.
Sure.
So here, what you can do is you can add a pass-through condition.
Pass-through where?
It's
this one.
Yeah, that one, exactly. And so here we can basically set up some kind of condition where if the condition is what we want it to be, it will continue. And if it's not what we want it to be, it will just end the workflow and it won't continue.
Yeah.
So what we can do is the condition is on the far right-hand side. You see the way it's set to true right now in the configuration?
This one.
Yeah. Again, this is something we'll want to be dynamic. So you can press that plug icon again. And here we can set up some kind of formula to check if both of the inputs are the same. So if you open up that second tab again with the value of the inputs, what you can do is you can literally just, if you click on password, and then if you type equals, and then if you open up that second tab again, and you click on confirm password.
This one.
Yes. So here we're basically saying if what's been typed into the password input equals the confirm password input, then continue. And if they're not the same, then stop.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Because this will return true, and if they aren't the same, it will return false. So it knows to stop, basically. So this one last thing, the very last thing, after the sign up action, if you add another action after sign up, you'll want to look for the action called navigate to. Actually, it's just there you go. And then here on the right hand side, you want to define what page the user should go to. So here we're saying when we sign them up, what page should they go to? It's kind of like the other one. So
sure. Navigate to.
No, sorry. So if you can close this. It's already set up to be navigate to. You see the way there's a page select just beneath it.
Okay, this one here.
Yeah. Here again, you just want to choose that page.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. And now if you close this workflow and you put it into preview mode and you type everything in and then, sorry. I promise this is the last thing, AO. I realize there's one other thing that Figma didn't import. If you take it out of preview mode.
Okay.
I think the button at the bottom, it hasn't actually added a button. I think it's done the same thing where it just added an element. So if you click on the button, we can just check. It's because it's added a regular element. If again, you open up the add panel, and then if you look for button,
is that this one?
It's the one above it.
Oh, this one.
That one, yeah. Okay. And then if you just drag that in place of the create account button we have right now, there you go. And then you can delete that create account button we had from before.
Okay.
And you might just want to, if you double click onto the button itself, so if you double click on the text that says click, you can now change that text. So you want to make it create account or sign up or something.
Okay. Can I centralize it?
Yes. If you open up, do you want to centralize it, or would you like it to take up the full width of the card?
Sure, full width. to be honest.
So if you open up the styling panel on the right, so that pencil icon, and if you scroll down, there's a sizing section just above this.
Yeah, this one here.
And so what you want to do is change on that width input. You see the way there's an A on the far right?
Yeah, sure.
You can click that and you can basically change the unit of measurement. So if you put it to percentage, there you go. So then it becomes 100% of its container, basically.
Yeah. So if I want it to be not 100, say maybe something around 70, I just type it in, right?
Exactly, yeah. You could just manually change the 100 yourself.
Yeah, because sizing was actually the problem I was having with some of the pages. I couldn't really reduce, or increase them.
Yeah. So if you wanted to, you could manually change that 100 to whatever you like.
Okay. All right.
And then last thing, on the right side, if you open up the settings panel again on the very far right hand side, so that one, I just want to check it's a certain kind of button. Sorry, I think you've got a different element selected now. If you reselect that button, there you go. Yeah. And then if you scroll to the top of here, you want to change the type. So you see the way type right now is button.
Yeah.
On the very top one, if you open that and change it to submit button.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Basically what this means is when you have a button inside of a form container, if it gets pressed, it will trigger that on submit event of the form. And we want it to do that. So now if you put it into preview mode, all should work correctly.
Did you see the check box?
Would you like that also?
I agree. Yeah, it's kind of.
That's okay. If you open up the add panel again.
Okay.
And if you type in, I think we call it checkbox. I think it is just called checkbox. So if you search for that, there you go. It's the second one down.
Yeah, this one here.
Yeah, and then if you now drag that in place of the old checkbox. And then, yes, exactly. Cool, okay. Wait, no, I think that was good. If you undo, so you can either press Control Z. Okay, no, sorry, you were correct. You did the right thing. The elements you deleted were good. If in the top right, you can actually redo what you did. So you see the way in the top right you've got preview deploy.
This one here.
Yeah,
this
so
one.
The right one. So the right. Okay. Yeah, if you press this will redo what you did, and then press it once more.
Yeah. Okay.
There you go. Cool. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, you did the right thing now.
I normally use Control Z or Control Y.
Yeah. Both work. Okay, cool. And then I think the last thing we'll want to do is that checkbox. You might just want to give it a name again, kind of like we did with the inputs. So in that menu, you can properly see it and know what it's for. I don't know where that text is coming from though. What you might want to, if you I think you can just delete that text though. So if you
okay,
okay, cool. There you go. Although it's a bit one. Okay, you might want to. You see where's that label coming from?
I'm not sure.
If on the far left side where we have that layout tree, if you drag this checkbox to actually, if you expand the layout element above it, I just want to see what's inside of that. Yeah, that one. Okay, you've got this. If this label element itself, the one at the top, the label one. If you drag this down into the checkbox, and inside of the checkbox there's a flex box. Yeah, if you drag it inside of that flex box, you just had it a second ago. That one, yeah.
Oh yeah, this one. Okay.
Yeah. There we go.
I see. Okay.
Okay, cool. And then you just want to change. You've already got the checkbox selected. So on the far right hand side at the top, you can double click the checkbox text at the top and then change its name to something like T's and C's checkbox or something like that. Cool. And then if you go back to the form containers submit workflow.
Oh, the workflow itself, yeah.
Sorry, no, on the form container where we're.
Oh yeah, this one.
Yeah, just above this, I think. You can see on the far left what you have selected. So yeah, that one, yeah. And then if you open up the workflow we have on this on the right-hand side. Yeah.
Is it this one?
It was this one, yeah. And then what we can do is, so that pass-through condition you added, we could put everything in that single pass-through, but to simplify things, sometimes it's easier to break it up. So actually, if you click on that pass-through at the top, we'll just give it a name. Since we're going to have two, we can give it a name to designate what it is. So in that name input on the far right-hand side, you just call it a password check or something. And then if beneath, in the workflow, if you add an action beneath that pass-through condition, and then just add another pass-through condition.
Okay.
And we can, in the name input on the right, you can call this one terms and condition check or something like that. And then if you bind the condition, so if you press that plug icon.
The true.
Yep. Yep. And then if you open up the second tab again, so we can get that value of the checkbox. Yeah, if the T's and C's value, yeah, you want to check if the person has ticked it. Yeah. And if they have ticked it, then the value of this will be true. So here you want to put equals true because we basically want to make sure that it is true.
Should I just type true here?
Exactly, yeah. But true shouldn't have a capital. It's just like a syntax thing.
Oh, I see.
There we go. So whenever this is true, meaning they have ticked it, it will progress, and if they haven't, then it will reject it.
Sure.
Cool, okay, that should be everything then. So now if you back out of this and put it into preview and go through all of this, it should let you sign up.
No, I see. Okay. Did you want me to try or just?
Yeah, no. Let's try it to make sure it works.
Okay. Create accounts.
And so there was an error, and I thought that might be the case, and that's just because Supabase by default has some password requirements.
Oh.
So you see on the left in that panel, you've got the logs open, and so you can see what's happening in the workflow. And so you can see there it gave you an error.
Yeah, error.
I can see the message. I can't see it in full, but the message says something about
it should be at least 6 characters. Yeah.
Okay, there you go. So yeah, if you change it to be at least 6 characters and then press it again, it should work.
Okay. Oh, wow. Good.
And so I don't think, just because we're a bit tight for time now and there's someone waiting, we won't have time to go through much else. But what I do want to show you is now that you are signed up, you can access the information of you as a user. So if you were to, maybe on the dashboard, could you go back to the dashboard? I remember one of the first pages you showed me, you had like a side navigation and stuff.
Yeah, I did. That was the dashboard. This one.
Here we go, yeah. So in the bottom left of this, I guess you want to, I think it says E1 right now or something like that. Beside
ET.
ET, okay. I guess you want to show like the user's name there.
Sure.
If you click on that, sorry, you're in preview mode. You'll need to come out of preview mode.
Oh, yeah, I see. Okay.
If you click on ET, and then if you open up the styling panel on the far right, so if you open up that pencil icon, here you can define the text, and I guess AI bound it to something, but I'm not sure what it bound it to. So if you click on the purple area, we can now change what it's got. And so what you can say is, if you delete what it has here, so what's in the formula right now. Sorry, no, in the
formula.
Yeah. So if you get rid of this. And in the third tab here, so before we were opening up the second one, but if you now open this one, here, whenever you're signed in, you have access to the user's information.
Yeah.
And so you can expand that user. You see, yep. And here you have access to all of the information about the signed in user. So right now it shows your info because you're the person who signed in. But in your live app, if you were to use these values, it would use whatever the values are of the person signed in.
Yeah.
So you could bind this to be their email, for
Username.
example. Yeah,
Email.
username
Okay.
or email, whatever. I don't think it was username actually. Yeah, no, it's a super base thing. So the it's not
Email.
easy to, yeah, the easiest thing would be the email. So yeah, you can do something like that. And then along the same kind of vein, the sign-in page would be very similar to the sign-up. So exactly in the way you set up that form on the sign-up page.
Yeah.
It would be the exact same thing for the sign-in. However, I guess you would only need the email input and the password input.
Sure.
And instead of the sign-up action, you'd use the sign-in action, and then afterwards take the person to the relevant page.
Yep.
So yeah, apologies we couldn't go through much else.
Yeah.
But yeah, is there anything else you wanted to quickly go through? We can probably cram in like another couple of minutes, just because I know there's someone waiting. I know if we get into the depths of something, it might take a while. So I don't know if there's anything that might be quick to go through.
Let me just bring up the one of the pages so you could see what I struggling with. Which of them is final report? Yeah. It's loading. So this takes up all the window. If you don't mind, is it possible to add up the what was it called, the site navigation panel, just like the dashboard as well?
Yes. So could you switch back to the dashboard? I just want to see how how it was structured.
Yeah.
And then if you open up the layout panel on the far left. Okay, super. So you see the way it says left sidebar? And it's blue right now?
Yep.
In WeWeb, this is what we call a multi-page section. So if you have something like this that's in blue, what it means is this section is being shared across pages.
Yeah.
And when you have something like this, the nice thing about it is if you were to make a change to this sidebar, whatever change you make, that will be reflected across everywhere you're using it. So it's just a nice way to make things scalable. So what you can do is you can right click the left sidebar.
Right click. Okay.
You can press copy. And now if you go back to that reports page, we can paste it on the page.
Okay, let's see. So just basically paste it.
Yeah, if you right click the root container element.
Okay.
And then if you paste it here, it should work. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I see.
But it's not blue.
Covers.
Yeah. So before that, when we pasted it, it didn't add it the way we wanted it to with blue. So it just pasted the raw thing. So sorry, delete this. There's two ways to do this. I wanted to show you that way in case it was a bit simpler, but I didn't realize it wouldn't add the linking. So if you open up the add panel, where we have all the elements we can add, on the far left here, there's a couple of different sub-tabs to the left of the panel itself, where you've got like a book icon and then a code icon and things like that. If you open up the fourth one down, sorry, on the just to the left of this.
This one
here, yeah.
This one here.
This one, yeah. So multi-page sections, yeah. And then if you drag the left sidebar onto the page, it can be anywhere on the page. It doesn't really matter. Yeah. Here it asks you to create an instance or create a copy. Here we'll want to create an instance. This is kind of the thing I was talking about at the start, where if we create an instance, it will then mean everything's linked and we can easily make changes.
Sure.
So yeah, so you want to create an instance.
I see.
Cool. Okay. And then the other thing I want to do here is if you click on the root container on the far left-hand side, this will take a bit of messing around, but we can figure it out. So if you remember where that width property was on the right?
Yes, I think that was on the sizing, right?
Yeah. I think it was just a bit higher. just a bit lower.
Oh yeah, yeah.
If you change, if you open up that select on the, so you've got pixels, percentage, and auto. Okay. We could use percentage. What's probably a bit more reliable here is to use what's called VW. It basically means the full width. So percentage is the same thing, but VW in this case might be a bit more reliable.
Okay.
But VW isn't something we allow for, but you can still do it. So if you press the plug icon for the width, and then if you put in the formula, if you go to type something, if you put in 2 speech marks, so we want to,
two speech marks.
Exactly,
Remind me what those are.
Like a quotation mark.
Oh, quotation mark. Oh, okay.
And then if you click inside of those, so what's, and then if you type in, let's say 70 VW.
70.
So we're kind of saying just, yeah. And then, okay, it's almost there. Try maybe like 65. Maybe that'll be good.
65 VW. Okay.
Almost, maybe 60. I think 60 might be the one.
Yeah. 60 VW.
Okay, and then the issue that we have is that something inside of this isn't respecting the width. So if you close this panel,
okay,
and then if you click on background on the far left-hand side, we kind of now have to go through this process of clicking through all the sub-elements and seeing which isn't respecting this width. And I think it might be because if you click on one of the underneath background, you've got container. Yep, if you click on that container.
Okay, that's one.
And then if you, on the far right-hand side, if you just scroll up for me, to the very top, sorry. And then, okay, yeah, this might be a trick. This was from Figma, right?
Yeah, I think it's a Figma thing.
Yeah, this would, you can definitely make this fit. It'll be a bit tricky now though, just because the way Figma does things is oftentimes it won't have what we call responsive design. Sure, so oftentimes in Figma, you'll give it a fixed width, but then when you import that into a WeWeb project, it won't respect whatever width properties you apply to kind of the parent containers.
Sure.
Because the inner elements aren't set to use a percentage; they set to use a fixed width. So you definitely can do this. It will just be a bit tricky now with the time, because we'd kind of have to go through this process of checking every single element and seeing which is the culprit.
Can I open up Figma quickly just to see where that is?
Yeah, it's no. You can. It will be a bit, even in Figma though, it'll be a bit tricky to resolve if it's not set up. There's this option.
Because I saw in one of your videos where you said on Figma you have to click a button on the right hand side to respect the.
That's the one. Yeah, that's the one.
Is that it? I think I did that because I had to follow your YouTube video.
There's
I followed your video, but I couldn't. Yeah.
I tell you, could you do you mind if I have a look on my own account? I can go into your project and have a look.
Sorry, say that again.
Do you mind if I have a look myself? So if you send me a link to the project, I can go into it and have a look around, because it will take a bit of clicking around and everything and see. Cool. That's feel free to.
What do you need?
You see, if you go back to the restream.
Okay.
And there should be a private chat somewhere. I'm not too sure where it is in the UI. It might be in like the bottom left somewhere, but there's some kind of private chat.
Yeah. Okay.
If you just put the link to your project, so if you literally just go into the WeWeb editor and copy your current URL, you can just put it in there, and then after this, I can have a look myself.
On the private chat, right?
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really matter because no one can access your project apart from me, but yeah.
Okay. So just to be sure, where did you say that? I'm seeing ask a question, get one-on-one. Is it what you talking
No,
about?
I mean the URL.
Oh, the URL.
Yeah.
Oh, do you mean where we are now? Sorry, I can't just quite think
Yeah, no,
about
yeah.
what.
So if in the WeWeb editor, if you just I can't see your browser itself. I can only see the page.
Oh,
If
you mean on YouTube here, right? What did
Yeah,
you
yeah.
share
If you
with
just
me?
if you
Oh,
copy
yeah.
the URL
Sorry,
of your WeWeb page and then paste it in
sorry.
ours.
All right, yeah, I see what you mean. I was just thinking something else there. So, for instance, this page, can I just for this final report page, will it work?
Yeah,
Can I copy the URL of this?
if you literally just send me the URL, because I'm a WeWeb admin,
Okay, so
I can have a look at your project,
you can have a
and
look.
then I
Yeah,
can
all
pick it up
right,
from there.
that's fine. Okay, that's fine. So I'll just drop it in here then. Um, um, chats of private chat. Okay, yeah,
Cool.
I've sent you
Super. I
now.
see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Super. Yeah. No worries. I will. I'll have a look straight after this then, and
Okay.
I'll let you know, because this kind of thing, when you're messing around with the width and the styling, you have to
Yeah.
click on a bunch of different elements. So it'll just take a bit of time to click around and see what the issue is. But I'll let you know.
I had that problem with one or two other pages, so if probably look at them, I'll be very glad as well.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Thank you.
Super. No worries, Eo. Thanks so much.
Cheers.
Speak.
Cheers.
Bye.
Yeah.
Hello, Marik. You there?
Yeah.
Hey, sorry for the
Yeah,
wait.
wasn't sure if you were gonna dash off or still have a few
never.
minutes.
I saw you here from the start, so there's no way I'd leave you in the dark. How is everything?
Oh, good. So I mean, you saw kind of, I guess, one of my simpler, let's just say, kind of questions on Superbase, with the authentication, which is quite
Sorry, Emmerich.
strange.
Now that I was reading your message as I was doing that, so I didn't fully take it in. Now I'm reading it back. I'd be surprised if there isn't default validation.
Well, I mean, is it though? Because so I know I have an email. I have a user. I just put like some random password in there. And if I just do sign up, it automatically, I guess, signs that. And I've done it. With I guess individual pass through kind of pages as well, in the back end or in the workflow, basically. And yeah, it's just it doesn't actually send an email or anything, but yeah. So anyway, I was trying to kind of do here something with email validation, but anyway, with this one, if I just do, so I have email input and random password in there. I guess, we can just like take this off, not mandatory, but if I just click that, you see it kind of gives me a session.
Mm-hmm.
And ideally I would have, I don't know, I was expecting some type of default not able to register or something like that. Email existed. I've kind of read through the forum, and I think about 2023, a few people have raised it, but somehow in my mind, I was thinking like, well, it would have already been addressed.
Give me a second.
Yeah.
I don't suppose if Superbase actually does prevent this themselves, and is this a WeWeb thing, or?
Well, I don't know. I haven't really gone that far, but I was thinking like, really, Superbase? I mean, someone would have already kind of raised this as an issue, with them.
I mean, a quick Google, but I just seen on Stack Overflow, people were raising it that Supabase doesn't return an error. If someone signs up with an existing one.
Of course, there's no email confirmation that comes to the email address, of course, because whenever you sign up. So I don't know what I was trying to kind of figure out. Is it just me that I would have to kind of do some type of SQL validation before, so it's fast enough before the sign up?
I think so, unfortunately. I do know Supabase does have triggers. And I'm pretty sure they have auth triggers, so you can trigger something when someone tries to sign up and stuff like that. But then that trigger, you couldn't easily then detect that trigger prevented an error from this logic. So
that's what I was thinking, is like probably put like, I don't even know if it's possible to kind of do just a simple SQL or like an edge function or something like that. Just checks that, and if it's true, then I do a false type of thing, or I do it on error.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably the easiest way. Yeah, a function that checks the email and then true or false.
Yeah. Okay. The other thing that I wanted to ask, or actually I had the sign up page. Yeah. So you were just talking earlier about how long it takes for messing about with spaces and so on and so forth. So I have this letter. Oh yeah, this is another thing with the AI chat. I wasn't exactly sure if this is some type of default setting. I've just picked it up today as being an annoying thing. Whenever you load, and of course you have like all the past messages that you've chatted, and I need to load a bunch of history, so I can't really leave it without history. So brand new chat every time. I haven't gone to that stage where I'm grouping these in different conversations, but I was thinking, like, do you know if this is a standard thing, or where basically the chats kind of scroll to the latest one, or is this something that I need to?
As in, when you load the page, it automatically scrolls.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So ideally, it would just load and the messages are there rather than having to do this, basically.
Okay, I get it. Yeah. I think that's probably something baked into the code of the chat that it's
sure. Okay, well, I'll sort it out. Somehow that started to be much easier than messing about. Okay, so the other issue that I have, and I've tried your chat with us option. I've tried AI. I've even tried Claude Coworker and stuff like that. But somehow I'm thinking, like, in the situation where I'm trying all these AIs, I know a guy on Tuesdays that he may be smarter than all of them. So I'm putting all the pressure on you. Basically, I have this little issue with this AI chat. So my current structure is, so I have the side menu, which is this. I have a top section where I'm basically using my top menu, and then I have the container split, or I have it as content, but then split left and right for that. So my current issue is that I want to put this chat component to be full width or full height, basically, which that gives me a bit of a challenge, because I just tried everything, to be honest. I've tried, the sticky. I've tried, 100 VH. I've tried 95 VH. And the other thing is, if I do it on this, or even if I put like 96 or something like that, kind of different screen sizes, it mucks about, basically. So so that's kind of issue number one. But then issue number two is, if I open my thing here like that, you see it kind of stays as sticky, but it still moves. And what I was thinking, like the issue is probably this section just above, so like the height of the heading, because as you can see, it just goes slightly and then stops. And I'm not exactly sure how to take this into account whenever I'm positioning it as fixed, basically.
Yeah. Okay, there's a few ways I think we can. So just to check then, so if you come out of preview and you click on the AI chat element, if you put this to 100 VH, it doesn't take up the full page.
So I mean, yes. So do you want to do the chat component itself? So if I do the chat component and put it to 100, it goes over.
Yeah. So and then okay, let's.
Yeah, and then I kind of need to scroll down, and as you can see, it kind of moves in at the top.
Yeah, and then if you come out of preview mode, which you have a sticky set up for the chat element or the container it's in, do you know?
So I have sticky for the chat. I have sticky for the component as well.
Maybe if you. Okay, you know what? Actually, sorry. Let's we want the 100 VH on this container, and then just put the AI chat element to like 100% or something. I'm not. This will require a bit of experimentation. I'm not 100% sure, but this is what I'm thinking. Cool. And then if you take sticky positioning, just talk me through why you need the sticky positioning. Because whenever you scroll down on this left, you want it to stay in view. Okay, I get you.
Correct. Yeah.
Then if you take off, we can try and make it work with the sticky. If you take off the sticky positioning of the chat, so you put the chat's position to normal, and then if you click on the container that it's on, this one, and then that's still sticky. Okay, we can keep that for now. But then the VH is 100 on this, right?
Yeah.
If you go on the margin, and then open up the and then if you put the top margin to like -20 or something, keep going.
I think my top thing it's -60.
Do you actually want it to be above the top bit or not?
Well, ideally, I would just want to fit inside, basically. So as you can see right now, it cut my.
Okay, let's
at least we solved one thing. It's not moving for sure.
Okay, let's take off the margin then, and we can. Yeah, and then we might need to just mess around with the VH. So if you mess around with the VH until it's not like going off the bottom. So what was it like? Whenever you had it before, I guess
96 is the one that
And then now if you scroll down to the sticky positioning bit, if you put the top position to like 30 pixels, and then scroll down on the left one. Okay, I think it's a bit better. And then try like 50 pixels. That might be it. There's a tiny bit of something. So maybe you need to just play around with it by like a few pixels here and there to find the right.
Okay.
Maybe that's good.
Yeah. So I mean, can you talk me through kind of the logic here with that on?
So whenever your setup was actually good. The only thing is whenever you have sticky positioning set up, those position options at the bottom where you can add like 20 pixels left, 20 pixels top, whatever, those define what the starting position of the sticky is. So here we're saying that I can't, the screen's a bit small, so I can't see what you put it to, but whatever you put that top position to.
Yeah, put it to 50.
We're kind of defining that, okay, 50 pixels down from the very top of the page, that's where the sticky part, that's where sticky should take effect. And since your top menu, I'm guessing is like 50 pixels high.
Yeah.
It never overlaps into it because the sticky only starts after it.
Sure. Okay. So now So that's good. Yeah, I mean this kind of So this saves me a lot because basically what the issue that I had was that if I was putting it to like 96 or whatever, it would work on some screen sizes, but on other screen sizes it was a bit off. So let me just add just a tiny bit of complexity, and then I'll let you off with the sticky element. Basically that's kind of my one of the issues that I have. So if I move over to this, I mean right now I still have to sort out this particular chat component as I've done the other one, but now I want to kind of do the sticky thing here as well, because basically what I have is, as you can see, I've put the top section here as sticky. Basically what I would like to do, I would only want to scroll on this bottom section. So as you can see, so if I open a bunch of these folders, I'm still kind of losing that. So some of the things that I've tried, basically this one was stopping, and then this was kind of going over it, and it was messing about.
Just to check, which part of this should always be in view?
So this section where it's the title and a bit of description, and I want basically everything above this divider. So as you may see that there's a tiny divider here. Basically everything above this divider should be sticky. Yeah.
Okie dokie. The easiest way I think would be if you click on that bottom part that's scrollable, this part here, and then if you hover over on the left, I just want to see. Okay, and then I think it's this part. If you scroll to the top again, and then on the right side, if you scroll down to the height in the sizing section, up a bit, If you add a max height of like 300 pixels, I just want to make sure this works, and then we can mess around with it further. And then if you put it into preview and scroll through it, just to make sure that nothing funky happens. Okay, it moves a bit, but I think that's because the stuff above it has sticky positioning. But now it wouldn't need it. So if you take out a preview, I think all the stuff you had sticky positioning on above it, you can get rid of that sticky positioning and just put it to normal.
Here. Yeah. So that's that.
And then did you have sticky on the right document?
I think I think I had sticky on this one as well. With normal here as well.
Is it maybe on that left box or something? I think I saw it on the left box there. No, sorry, I saw it. Maybe not then.
Oh, no. This one has the Z.
Okay, no worries then. I don't think it actually matters that much if we update the other thing.
Sure.
So if you again click on that, I think it was called search, the container where we had it. Yes, and then so you have the max height set up, and then if you scroll to the very bottom of the styling panel, there'll be an overflow property, and it's unset. If you change it to auto, then put it into preview and scroll, it should. There we go. Okay, so now we just need to mess around with the height to get it to take up the thing.
Okay.
So the easiest. This is a bit tricky sometimes when you have like a thing that needs to take up a remaining bit of width, but what actually might be easier is if you but then you don't. The problem with doing it this way is you don't know how tall the person's screen will be if you use a fixed pixel height. So what's the if you put it back into edit mode, and then what we can do maybe is what's the like most parent container that this is in, like the parent section or something, literally the most parent thing, and not even this scrollable part, the maybe.
Well, we have container, we have, so this is the top.
If you click on container, so the one above this,
and then this one,
Yeah, and then okay, you already have it set to 100 VH. Huh. Okay, then we won't need to mess around with the VH on the other one.
Oh, this one is set to 95.
Yeah. Although, but this isn't respecting it for some reason. And then, okay, we might need to just mess around with the VH on the other one then. So if you click on to that search element again, the one that we set up the overflow on.
Yeah.
What we can do for this one is also mess around with the VH, I think, because at least then the VH is dynamic to whatever the person's screen height is. So you can do if you put the height to, max height, and then mess around with it until you find the decent one.
I guess this one still kind of searches up and down.
Is what VH did you put? If you
so I put like 80, I think.
Try and keep if you scroll to the top of the page, and then start changing it, and keep lowering it until you see the blue bottom border come into view. There you go. I think that's it. And then if you put it into preview, that should be. There you go.
Okay. So now this actually fixed any type of scrolling on this page anyway. So that's just in there. Okay. Last one, and I promise I'll let you go. So I have these lists, I guess, of documents, and I have a bit of a hover situation where I'm doing that. But the problem is over the above, because I think this is part of like the heading of that document. It's not overflowing, but underneath it's kind of going under, I guess. And also here at the end, if I may not have an example of that, but basically, so what I have basically, I've been playing around with the tooltip and with the what is it called? The Z thing. But I haven't been able to. So I think it's this and title. Yeah, tooltip here. Yeah, and what I've done basically, I've tooltip here. Yeah, so I was trying to kind of do things where. I've put it to absolute just to kind of bring it on the side in there. But then I've tried the whole Z thing, even tried like 100, but it still didn't fix. So I wasn't exactly sure what I need to do. And it's because it's part of a collection. I'm not exactly sure if it's even, I guess, doable.
Yeah, so I don't think it's a Z index issue. I think it's an overflow thing. So I suspect because it's been cut off at the top and bottom of that row, I think the row itself has its okay, so that's, and then if you go on the left side, if you in the layout tree, if you go just a bit further up, and I'm trying to figure out where the element is that is like the whole row itself.
So you did this one, yeah.
If you put the overflow to visible for this one, maybe, and then we can see if this does anything for it. No. And so then if you go back into edit mode, there might be inside of that element, maybe there's another nested one or something.
Just a second. Overflow visible.
No. Okay. We go again. Try just to check which ones did we do, because is there like three?
So I think we've done.
No.
What about if we? Because I think this is what's cutting it out, basically, the underneath.
Okay, maybe then.
No, still not. I'm not doing it. So we've done this one. Overflow visible.
You did if you go further up, what to the parent of the on the left side, the
We've
parent
done
of
this
this
one
one,
as well.
the one above this, that one.
So,
That's why. There you go. That'll be the culprit.
oh, okay. So now, how do I solve that text in there? The mandatory and relevant for, as you can see, it's
That should be solved by the Z index. So, so either what's happening is somehow that text, or at least the container that text is inside of, has a higher Z index than the popover. Or what can happen is that even if you give the popover a crazy high Z index, if a container that it's inside of has a very low Z index, then it will cancel out what you give the tooltip. So you've given it 100, but what might be happening is that one of the containers that it's inside of has some kind of low Z index, and because it's a parent container, it then overrides all the Z indexes.
So I just need to check.
Pretty much, yeah. What I think you could do is if you click on the one above this, that one, if you give this one a crazy high Z index, and we can maybe see. There you go.
Sorted. Yes. Perfect. So I think, yeah, all of that. I think that's what I had. Sticky thing, tooltip. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that. Yeah, this kind of saved me a bunch of time. And what did I say? What did I say earlier? I tried all the AI tools and
AI can only get you so far. So at least it will be a way. It will be a while until it can do absolutely everything. But like as long as you can direct it, it's amazing. But glad I could help. And sorry I had to wait for so long.
No, not a problem. Not a problem. Thanks a lot for the help. And yeah, I mean, apologies for the 22 minutes, but
no worries.
But yeah. Anyway, nice seeing you again. See you next week. And have a good.
I'm hoping, by the way, for your super-based questions, Flo should be with me soon. He's got like his head down with the back-end stuff, trying to get it live by the end of the month. But he should be back with me soon, so you can bring all your super-based questions.
To be honest, I mean, I have a few things that I was thinking, like in terms of like Q&A and stuff like that, and around, I guess I forgot his name. Oh my god, I forgot your CEO's name.
Raphael.
Raphael, yeah, Raphael. Because with the chat that he did and all that, and I was thinking like, how can I? Because I think I replied to, you guys had a survey and I was putting in there, and I was thinking, because I know Flo, I think, mentioned it, that it was like an alpha or something like that. And I was thinking like, can we just get like, kind of free alpha access to some of these? So not from, not putting it, I guess, in production accounts, but something like that, just kind of play around.
That is the idea. The idea is to have some kind of open beta.
Mm-hmm.
That was the idea, but because we want to get it live pretty much ASAP now,
soon.
I honestly, the plans might change, and we might rather just go ham on QA for 2 weeks and then launch it as opposed to an open beta. But the plan is to have an open beta, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Oh, the other thing that I was going to say, because I know you said that you'd ramped up everything. What I was thinking, how I've explained how I do, I guess, coded components. I haven't really done coded components, but I've done modification of existing ones, such as the chat AI. Oh my god, it's brilliant! I've added drop zones into the chat AI, top drop zones, bottom drop zones, custom actions, loader. I've done the loader. Oh my god, it's brilliant. So, but the one thing that I was thinking is like, if I want to start a brand new component, I'm not exactly sure how to do it. I mean, I know how to do it the way that you've explained with all of that, but I don't like that way. I don't like, to approach it that way. What I would really like is to just have an existing component sitting in there, and I can fork it, but it's pure blank component that has all the files, and I'll just take that and I'll fork it and modify directly in there, so I don't have to do that. I've done that with the rich text one because I have something where it's like a script, like a very long script, and I need to search within that transcript. And I was thinking like, the rich text component is good, but I want to modify it. I want to add this thing, and I've just forked that one and modified that one. And it was brilliant. But then if it's like something that doesn't exist as a component already and you can't fork, it's like, okay, what's kind of the approach? And I was thinking like, probably that's not too difficult for you guys, just to kind of drop a blank component in there at one point in time that people can fork that way.
Just to check, because I remember you mentioned this before, that's just because you prefer the UI of it, how it works in the editor, right? Where if you fork it, you can then access the component editor in our editor and all that good stuff.
Yeah. Because if you do it the way you have to, you know, run it 3,000 and, you know, kind of run it locally. You know, so it's just like overly I feel it's just overly complicated, the flow, rather than doing it. Because I think the majority of the files that I've had to kind of copy paste, I've copied like the config, the element, or there are 3 to 5 files that you need to copy initially, and that's your setup. And then if you keep that in sync, I guess, as you develop a feature, you update it, and so on, then, you know, it's like 2 minutes for every prompt that you do. Say, oh, make it blue, make it, or add this property to it. It just makes it much faster.
Yeah, we'll see. I know Flo mentioned it before, where one of the priorities probably will be something related to custom coded components. We were thinking having some kind of MCP, and so then if we got along those kind of lines, I think it would just make that whole process of creating them with AI way simpler, and probably, to be honest, probably better, because then you can bring your own model to the party and stuff. And then along those kind of lines, we can just improve the experience around it. So if you want to create a component that's then kind of has the component UI that we have when you fork something, then you can have that. So we'll see what happens. That kind of stuff. It's one of the probably next things, but we just haven't talked about it much. Like as with everything else that doesn't involve the back end right now. And so
for sure. Yeah. But to be honest, I'm kind of excited to see how the back end looks, because I mean, it looks very, very slick, and you know, kind of the troubleshooting and the looking for is like, you know, trying whenever something does seem to work, is like, why does it actually work, and try to figure it out there.
I think you would love it for Superbase though, like, because you could just use Superbase as your database. And then any kind of logic you want to set on top of it. Because the reason I went with Xano instead of Superbase at the very start in all this for me was because RLS was an absolute nightmare. And for me, security was way easier to handle on Xano. So now it's kind of like the best of both worlds, where you can have Superbase as the database. But for me, I can kind of have the Xano experience on top of it, because I can set up my backend workflows on top of Superbase in WeWeb backend, and handle all the security and all the logic and everything else on top of that Superbase database. So it's kind of like the ability to create edge functions,
like a hybrid,
using the WeWeb workflow builder. So it's cool. I think you'll get a lot of utility out of it.
Yeah. Well, looking forward to getting my hands on that then.
Yes.
But you know, well, it's only the 3rd of March, so you know, kind of, I guess, you know, a number of weeks, I guess, to wait for that.
Yeah, but should be soon. All things
should be soon. Yeah. Anyway, I'll leave you with that. Nice seeing you. Speak to you later then.
Yes. Speak soon. And I've just seen your question, Arbaz. We're a bit tight on time, so if it's a long, I'll see how quickly I can answer. So I have a table with a list of data in the table, an icon that opens a sheet with the additional data of the table row. So I want, when I open the sheet, it must have a URL that must be related to that sheet, and can also share that URL so people see the same sheet. Yep, makes sense. What you'll want to do is basically whenever I'll get a video up that I can send you. Basically what you want to do is use a query parameter. A query parameter is what you see in a URL when you see like a question mark equals and then a certain value. And we have a video I did a while back on it, where it's not for your specific use case, but you should be able to get the gist of query parameters based on the video, and then that's what you can use to set things up. I'll put the link in the YouTube chat. So yeah, you'll want to, when they click on that button in your table, probably set a query parameter called like ID or something, which would be the ID of that record. And then whenever you open that sheet, you could search your database for the information related to whatever record they clicked on, and how you know which record to get the information of would be based on whatever the value of that query parameter is. So for example, if I click on a record, that record's ID in the database is 123. I click it, you would set the value of the query parameter to be 123. And then when the sheet opens, you would search the database for the records whose ID is 123, and then populate the sheet with that information. Because that way, regardless of whether or not they open the sheet from the table, it'll always load the same information. Because if you set the query parameter, it appears in the URL, you could share that URL with anyone, and then it would show the sheet. I just realized if you want the sheet to be open for someone who accesses it via the URL, you would need two query parameters, one for the ID of the record that should populate the sheet, but you'll also need another query parameter called like open sheet or something. And then you could have a page level workflow where on load of the page, you check if open sheet is true. And if open sheet is true, then you open the sheet. So that way, if someone visits so that would be query parameter. So basically the sheet is opening, but not showing the not showing the selected row data. It'll be something to do with the workflow. You'll basically want on the sheet itself to have an on-mounted workflow. So it runs whenever the sheet loads, pretty much, it renders on the page. And so you would have on-mounted search database for whatever record based on the query parameter. And then once you get that data, you would use that to populate the sheet. So it should definitely work. It would just be a case of how you have it set up. But as I say, we're run over by like half an hour. So feel free to put it on the community if you're still stuck, because it will just revolve around using those two query parameters, one for the sheet and then to open the sheet, and then one for the data that should populate the sheet. And if you're stuck on the workflow, feel free to put something on the community and I will take a look at it tomorrow. Cool, right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. We do this every Tuesday, 6 to 7 p.m. Central European time, and I shall see